Hello everyone and welcome to Crow's GameThing. In this episode I want to talk about one of my favorite Commodore 64 games, and that is Lemans. Now Lemans is a cartridge-based game for the Commodore 64, and I used to play this a lot as a kid. And in fact, that was probably the only cartridge-based Commodore 64 game I can remember playing, and it was probably because I played it a lot. But as the years went by and I started playing more games for the Commodore 64, and eventually getting an NES, a Super Nintendo, and onward and upward, I had completely forgotten about this game until as recently as 2 months ago. And even before then, I could vaguely remember the game. I could not remember for the life of me the name of it. And I was thinking about getting a Commodore 64 2 months ago. I got one, and I was finally killing myself, what was the name of that game? And I finally found it, Lemans, and I had to buy it off eBay. But of course, Destructive did give me a copy as well, so I do have 2 copies of this game. But is it as good as I remember it? Well, that's what I'm going to talk about. But a little bit about how this game plays. This game plays a little bit like Monaco GP for the, it's an arcade cabinet Sega made in 1979, as well as it plays a lot like Turbo. You're basically just trying to pass as many cars as you can, drive as fast as you can, and not crash, and play as long as you can, obtaining the highest score that you can. That's pretty much the game in a nutshell. Now, as you're driving, the scenery does change, and it does affect the way you have to control your car. For example, you'll be driving on a normal road, then there'll be an icy section. There'll also be a divider in the middle, some cases, and as well as driving in the night, as well as a really wavy road. And these all seem to appear randomly. I think they happen in some kind of order, but as you're driving, I could never remember which section was going to come up next. So it always kept you guessing. It would just appear just like that. And then you've got all the other racers on the road to contend with. Some of them just drive straight forward, and some of them just keep constantly driving back to back from side to side. And those are the most dangerous ones. And anytime you get hit by another vehicle, or you completely drive off the road, your car is engulfed in smoke, and you're forced into a pit stop area. When you start the game, you start with a 60-second time limit. Now, I always felt the way you extend your time in this game to be a little bit unusual. To start with, we have to discuss how you earn your score. Basically, you earn your score just by covering as much road as you can. The faster you go, the more score you obtain. So when you get hit by a car and you're forced into the pit and slowed down, you're actually earning less points per time. Now, the only other way to earn score is by passing 10 cars consecutively. So as you pass cars, you see they appear in the corner, and when you pass your 10th one, you see bonus 1,000 points. So you get 1,000 points for every 10 cars consecutively you pass. Now, if you get crashed, say you passed 5 cars and you crash, that counter restarts, and you basically lost your chance for the bonus. Now, the longer you drive in the race, the more and more cars appear on the road. And depending on how good you are at the game, it can become either easier or harder to get the 1,000-point bonus, because either you're able to pass a lot of cars quickly and keep obtaining 1,000-point bonuses, or you're crashing all the time and not earning that many points at all. Now, why is the score important at all? Well, because you earn extended time for every 20,000 points that you get. So if you're really good at driving really fast and avoiding all the cars, you could be driving for a long time. Conversely, if you're not good and you keep crashing all the time and keep getting sent to the pits, your game could be over really quickly. So what do I like about the game? Basically, I like this game for being just as simple as it is. You're just driving forward, avoiding the cars, trying to drive it as long as possible and try not to crash. It's just a simple game, and it's very playable. In fact, it uses the paddle controller, and it makes it a lot easier to control the car than I would think a joystick would. And it just has a replay value because, of course, you're going for points. So you keep trying to go for points. Not only do you want to get a high score, but you're going for points to extend your time so you could get even a higher score. And I kind of like that dynamic. Now, another thing I like about this game And a lot of people are going to think I'm crazy, according to the comments I've seen on the Quick Clips video that I put up not too long ago, is that I actually like the sound in this game. A lot of people were complaining about this game, the droning noise that sounded like bees, but I don't know, there's something about the sound in this game I like. It kind of puts me in a hypnotic trance while I'm playing. If you get a really good run and you just keep going and passing cars, it just has a hypnotic effect on me, and I just kind of like that in the game. So what didn't I like about the game? Oddly enough, one of the things I don't like about the game is the same as one of the things I do like about the game, and that is the paddle controller. Now, I don't know if I'm going to be able to explain this very well, but the paddle controller does not act like a steering wheel in this game. Rather, the paddle is actually trying to indicate on screen where you want your car to go, and then the car follows. And this is really evident when you hit the ice and the car moves slower, because it doesn't matter how fast you turn the paddle, the car will always move at the same speed. This really becomes a problem when you get hit and you get forced to the pit. Now, if you get hit and you don't turn the paddle, the car automatically goes into the pit stage and stays there. But when it's ready to come out, it'll just automatically go right back to the position your car was when it crashed if you didn't move the paddle. So you almost have to remember every time you crash to turn the paddle all the way to the left, so your car just doesn't randomly shoot out into traffic and hit somebody else. The only other semi-annoying thing I kind of don't like about this game is the timer itself. The problem with the timer is that when you get extended time, that time doesn't get added to your existing timer. Instead, that timer has to run out to 0, and then it gets replaced with a new timer. And that's kind of annoying too, because you'll be looking at the time sometimes thinking, well, I don't know if I have extended time or not. I don't know if this game's going to be over or not soon. I just can't remember. And it would have been nice if they would have just added the new time to the existing time. But it's kind of a minor nuisance, as half the time you're not really paying attention to the timer, especially as you drive longer in the game and there's more cars to avoid. So after the many years of returning to this game, after I've completely forgotten it, how does it hold up? I'd say it holds up very well. It's still one of my favorite games on the Commodore 64. It's just simple, straightforward. You could just jump right into it and play, and I really can't recommend it enough. I would actually love to do a high score challenge with this game, but I really don't think that many people have it. So, at least on YouTube. Thanks everyone for watching. I'll see you all next time. Bye.